Who in the room is either running or is on the board of a community organisation? I knew we were in the right place. For you, on your table is a small gift. Just telling you about NZ Navigator. For those of you who are not running community organisations, it's about time you thought about it. NZ Navigator is it's an online self-assessment tool that's been developed by community organisations with support from both government and the private sector to develop a tool that was useful for us to be able to assess where we were and where we were going. Some partners got together, and it's lovely to see Dave, because Dave and I were the original people that rocked up to Charities, who's also here, and said, have we got an idea for you? And they said, fantastic, bring it on. So we've actually been working with this tool now for a little while. We've been piloting it, trying it, getting it going. We have certainly run it through its paces, and I'll talk a little bit about that as we go through. Again, this is an example of collaboration. This would not have occurred with just one entity, whether a community organisation or the government alone doing it. It's taken all of us to do that. So the benefits of this tool are to really try and develop strong community organisations in New Zealand. They are the backbone of New Zealand society. And so organisations are increasingly, as Joan said, particularly if you take the government dollar, you are required to be more accountable. You're required to be able to talk about what you do and be able to demonstrate what you do. But actually most organisations want to do that because it makes sense. They don't want to do it because they're having to do it for the government. They're wanting to do it because they want to be the best they possibly can be. So what we've done is we've organised this tool on the 9 key areas of any assessment tool. What I'm going to do is quickly just flick you through what it looks like, because it sounds a bit nebulous, so I'll just quickly go through that. And then what we'll do is, if there's some time to have some questions, as Joan said, Sarah has been working with community organisations all over New Zealand, and she can give you some feedback about some of the stuff that's really happening. Obviously, like all good contemporary tools, starts with a dashboard. So you go into the tool, you just develop your organisational profile, and you have a dashboard that you can actually use and go back to. There's 3 ways of gathering the information. You can have it as a single person. So say you're a small organisation and there's only 2 or 3 of you on the trust or whatever. You might say, okay, we'll just do one person. You might trust your coordinator or whoever that is to do that. You may be a bigger organisation and you may want all your trust board, for instance, to complete it, or all your senior staff, or all of the people in your organisation even, or some of you and some of the clients you serve to do it. So we've got this multiple participant assessment as well. The other thing that we've done is developed a branch assessment, because many community organisations, they've got a main branch here and they've got 3 branches in other parts of New Zealand. So we've developed a branch assessment so people can do an assessment in their branch and then you can compare the results. This was all based on the feedback we were getting from community organisations. Now, as you said, community organisations are like that. They range from multi-million-dollar organisations through to tiny little organisations doing all sorts of things. So trying to get a tool that would actually work across the board was a wee bit of a challenge. But what we've done is we've run it through a lot of people. This is just an example. So here we are, if we look at the governance section, each domain has got 4 or 5 questions. Here are the questions that sit with the governance example, traditional stuff that you would be asking. There's ratings associated with those questions, which are the 5 ratings there. They come through, and that's pulled through into your final report. So for each question, there's a descriptor. So it's almost like a rubric. So you can pick where you are on that phase of development. So these are the areas where you'd be saying, yeah, actually, this is where our organisation sits in relation to that question. So, for instance, if you pick this one here, this group has decided that's what their answer is, that the governing group understand their role and responsibilities, and there is an induction process for new members, and documentation is available to support them. Yeah. So the thing about this, what we're really liking and what people are really liking is that it's quick. You get your response straight away. If you complete the form, you get it straight away. And it spits you back a spider graph of where you're at in relation to the rubric. I'll show you that. It does a tailored report card, so telling you about, well, actually, this is what best practice in that question looks like. And also it links up to some resources. What we did at the time we were developing this links up directly to CommunityNet, which is run by DIA, which is a community resources environment. So we didn't have to invent our own. Here's what an assessment would look like. Would show this is an organisation pretty good at relationships. Probably has to do a little bit around its governance, unlike many community organisations. So again, you know, you've got your report card that you get. You can do two or three assessments. You can compare, say, your one local assessment with your branch assessments, or you can do two over time. So you can say, So as a group, you might say, gosh, we need to do some work in this particular area, and then you do it again, and you say, we've done well, but we forgot about evaluation or whatever. So again, it's like keeping the boil on all of the aspects that you need to run a competent, confident community organisation. The resources, as I said, click to CommunityNet. And the reason why we are here is not to get money, right? So you can be calm about that. We're not looking for money. What we're looking for is people like you who are involved in community organisations all over New Zealand. And what we're trying to do is to actually promote this tool because it is free. There's something like, how many organisations? 800 organisations using this as we speak without any promotion. The only promotion we've done is through our own networks. And so I work in the health sector. We work with our colleague from the community sector who works in the social sector. But we're just beginning to tap into how many organisations in New Zealand, Sarah?
27,000 registered charities, 97,000 community organisations.
Here you go. So we've got a wee way to go. But what we're trying to do is to promote this tool for the sake of developing competent and confident community organisations. So that's what we're here for, to widely promote this. So the other thing is we've developed this tool from the community sector perspective, but we're really interested in how we might grow it, how we can develop it, what could come next. We've all got, I mean, as Joe said, I'm involved in the mental health and addiction NGO sector, and that's pretty much a full-time job. But this is an opportunity to kind of create a bit more of the social innovation that makes New Zealand rock. And we're really interested in putting it into Australia just as a matter of interest. So that's it, really.